What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Outside Interference. I am Mel. Thank you guys for joining us. And tonight's episode is going to be a little unscripted, if you will, as tonight we got one of the self proclaimed best managers in the game. And that man happens to be the infamous Terrance Knight. Terrance, thank you for joining us. We know you
Thank
got a
you.
lot of, we know you got a busy schedule, but we thank you for joining us anyway.
First off, I gotta correct you. Not self-proclaimed. I am the best manager in this business, indie
What?
or big time. Remember
Well,
that.
man. Word on the street, man. I don't shoot the messenger. Word on the street is you self-proclaim the best manager. I have no control over what other people say about you. I'm just throwing out there what we hear on the street.
Well,
Is it? Don't.
I'm just throwing out there that there's no other manager in the business, independent or not independent, that can claim the accolades that I can right now as we stand. Not all time, but we can do that too. But I'm talking right now as we stand. I dare you to find another manager that's doing that manages a group that's doing what I'm doing right now.
Well,
What
since
we're
you brought it up, since you brought it up,
let's do it.
go ahead and step into the ring with me real quick and tell the folks at home a little bit about yourself.
Tell them about me. Man,
Yes,
you know, as you see the name TK, Terrance Knight, man, I run a group of individuals known as the system, the real system, the original system. I went there, I did it. And we're family. We are a family of individuals who love this business first and foremost, but we love ourselves more. And we are here to elevate ourselves and dominate this business. And we're on our way to doing that. That's all they really need to know about me.
Man, that was very shallow, but
It was.
I'll take it.
Hey, you
I'll
know what
take
you
it.
did when you signed that contract to bring me on this place. You knew it.
Look, man.
Come on.
All right, you got it. You got it. So,
Mhm.
as of right now, you are a manager of what we counted 7 different champions. Is that correct?
I have right now the group themselves. A couple of them have not necessarily using the group's name right now, but from our formation, our egg. And when I say our, I do put Marcus Knight in that because he does contractually own this company with me halfway. But right now we have 7 world championships. I'm sorry. That does include a tag team championship, multiple world championships. We have a couple other undercard belts going, and we have a lot of younger guys that are just waiting for, I won't say an opportunity, but waiting for me to get that door kicked in from. And it's coming. Trust and believe that.
That sounded so just. I ain't gonna
Wait,
say evil genius, but it's evil genius like. It
well,
sound like
well, well, this is something you have to understand about our system. Is we've been implementing this for over 20 years. This system is not just the young guys you see now. Marcus went through this system. I went through this system. We perfected this system together before we started implementing anybody else. And everybody that has come through our system, that has followed our system, that has allowed us to grow them, have all gone on to do bigger and better things. We have George Davis now, who Marcus can't even anymore. The pupil, he can't beat the pupil anymore. George is beating 3 different times now in a single. He's went over. He's gotten a W in 2 triple threats. Granted, he didn't pin him in those triple threats, but he still won. It's too bad. So,
and he's also had some help in those triple threats as well as that one-on-one, if I can remember correctly.
Hey man, Michael Jordan didn't win the title. He got some help neither. So,
touche. So, speaking of which, George Davis just defended his belt at the last Rubber City Wrestling show, which was, I believe it was
that was Civil War.
Yeah, Civil War. And
Civil War 5.
It was against your own cousin Marcus Knight and correct me if I'm wrong. Aaron Black.
Who is yes, he is another brother.
But y'all having issues with this guy right now. So what's going on with that?
He decided to join Marcus, and him and Marcus have a long-standing friendship, and he's gonna learn just like we do that when it comes to Marcus, at the end of the day, he will spit this brother and his family stuff until his spotlight starts to dim, and then he wants to get his spotlight back. And what Aaron is going to find out is when Marcus's spotlight is shining, nobody else is getting any shine. So I'm going to let him, dig his own grave on that situation. But unfortunately, by doing so, he stuck his nose in system business and he got his ass kicked like everybody else. Excuse me, but that's what happens.
Yeah, but at the same time, this is a guy that we've seen on
Mm-hmm.
multiple occasions, especially at the KOA. You know, he even had a little run in with Dice K that didn't go the way that everybody thought it should. And it's just seeming like with all the work that you guys did with each other, why would it come to this now?
Because they know at the end of the day, for me, it's about the company first. So whatever I have to do to protect the company and the best interests of our company, which is the best interest of any of the guys who have signed contracts with me and with us, I'll do what I have to do, whether I have to go through my cousin, my mama, my brother, my uncle, your cousin, it doesn't matter. As long as the outcome is we come out on top, I will go through whoever I have to. This was shown at the last show. They kept pushing me and bagging me up into a corner, not understanding when I tell them something, I mean it. So I had to make some phone calls, which if you watch the show, you will see me on the phone during the show. I wasn't just on the phone being random. I was seeing things happening and I had to make a judgment call. So I made a judgment call and we see what the outcome was.
Yeah, that judgment call was a group of masked individuals. Matter of fact, if I can
Mm-hmm.
pull it up to just a second,
Please.
uh, this right
Yeah.
here.
Yes. That's such a beautiful picture. There's a
Why
couple
is
people, but there's a couple of people missing from that. Let's
why?
the most perfect referee, Paul Rose, is missing from that. He had a big night that night too.
But
But
but who are like you're standing with George Davis, Myers McBain, I believe Kenny Collins,
that's right.
uh,
GDT,
that
don't leave out my
GDT.
enforcer.
I'm not gonna leave out GDT. He's not really an enforcer, but
That is
you
my
know,
enforcer. Hey, who do
as we
you think I made the phone call to for my 5 goons to show up?
I'm gonna assume you made the phone call to the 5 goons, considering that
No,
they're standing right there next to you.
no. I made the phone call to my enforcer who took care of business I needed him to take care of.
I mean, Paul, we get it, but at the same time, like I still need. I'm not even gonna say I need it. We, as an audience and as the media, still got to have an answer for this group. It's the 5 individuals on your
Mhm.
right hand side that are just not only are
This,
they mad.
this is all you need to know about the 5 individuals you see in that picture. You will not see those individuals unless I feel necessary. Don't push our buttons. We won't push our buttons.
You didn't push a button. Well, the button you pushed just happened to say send on the phone. Like this is one of those things where
Hmm.
is this even like we know managers get involved with their clients' matches, with their wrestlers' matches, but this right here, that's a little extensive, man. Like 5 other guys to take care of one what you would call a problem.
Well, actually, there was 2 problems out there that we took care of. Uh, and here's the thing about the problem. The problem was not Marcus or Aaron. They just happened to be casualties of war. The problem was RCW and Andrew and the disrespect that we have as a group felt collectively from them.
Please
So,
explain. What disrespect are you experiencing from RCW that you have to call reinforcements, so to speak?
we have had this problem with them once before where let's make this clear. We've never demanded or asked or finagled our way into anything. George Davis has been in this company now for the better part of 3 years. He's been undefeated for over 2. He took that global championship and made it the most meaningful title in the company. They didn't want to put us in the world title picture, but they had no choice. He took the world title and has not been beaten since. All we asked, if you're going to put us on the card and you're going to put your championship, the belt, the title that represents your company with your company's name on it, you put us on the main event. That's all we asked. Now, we had this problem months before. They didn't want to put us on the main event. So I went out there and I made them make us go first. And everybody had to go after and follow. We seen what happened. This time around, we did it again. Not only did we not get the main event slot, we were put back on after intermission. Half the people were still out getting beers, smoking cigarettes, chasing their little bad butt kids around the place.
Yeah,
and this
we
is my
noticed you don't
thing.
like
This is not
kids
about,
either.
I don't. And this is not about George. This is not about us individually. And this is why I don't understand the fans of RCW, why they're so against us. We're not the bad guys. We're trying to get them to protect the integrity of their own title. It just so happened to be on us right now. So this is my argument in my fight with RCW. But at the same time, the system never takes losses. We don't lose and we don't cry over spilt milk. So they want to keep playing with us. We're going to play with them any way they want to do. And if you go back and watch the show, we scared people so bad in our show, they got up and left. We scared them out the building. They didn't leave. And when you go to watch that last match, that main event match, that had nothing to do with the people not wanting to be there to watch that match. It was a very good match. I'll take nothing away from it. But we scared them people out of there. I had to make a statement. And what happened with that statement? I made this statement. We left Aaron and left Marcus laying crumbles of them old selves, people in awe, kids running around, snot nose crying, asking daddy to hold them because they don't know what's going on because the bad man in hoods and face mask is running around beating up everybody. And that was a Saturday. And then we turn around Monday and the flyer for the next show comes out. And guess what happens on that flyer? Your world heavyweight champion, who just defended and successfully defended his world title. It's not even mentioned on the flyer. Okay. We see the writing on the wall. They want a war. They want it. They want the system versus RCW. So they're going to get it. And they have a problem.
Now, I have to ask because I don't. Maybe they're trying to just expose new talent to the audience. I'm not sure. We're not always there at RCW, so I can't really say that is the case. But I'm just wondering if this is a way that they're just trying to showcase other talent visually. There's nothing disrespectful towards the champ. I mean, he is the champ, obviously, but for you to say that it's the system versus RCW, why does it have to be the system versus RCW?
Because it's always been me versus them all my life. Anything I've ever had to do, I've literally had to go against the grain. I've had to go against the grain everywhere. I will not speak his name. May he rest in peace forever, because he's a huge name in the Cleveland wrestling scene. But 20 years ago, when I first started doing this, I was told to my face, nobody would ever care about a black manager or would want to train a black manager, so you should give up your dream and go home. This was word for word, spit to me in my face with malice and no give a damn, no kid, why don't you try something else, no nothing. And I took that as it wasn't a deterrent for me. It lit a fire. Okay, I'm going to have to show this business something. And we've been doing it ever since. Tell you a quick story. The whole reason why I'm in this business in the first place, I wasn't in this business originally. I've always loved the wrestling. I've hated the fans, always have. I've never liked fans.
But the fans are who pay you the money.
I don't do this for the money. They just people don't understand. We are in this because we love it. We do what we love to do. And it just so happened that
True.
wrestling is something we love to do. Okay.
Very true.
Now,
Very
my,
true.
my thing is, you know, 20 years of everywhere we've gone, we've wait, kid, no, you gotta wait, and we'll see what we can. Oh, we'll see if we have something, and we'll try a little something, and well, maybe we'll do this, and well, no, maybe we'll do this, and we show up to the shows, and things is different. I was sitting at home not doing this. I was happy with the career path I was at the time. This was 20 years ago. I was fine. Marcus called me. Now, mind you, we hadn't talked in about 15 years or so since we were children. When we split from Big Mama and he went to San Diego and I went to Cleveland, when we left Big Mama's and went back to our families, I didn't really talk to him much. He ended up back in Cleveland with wrestling after getting started in San Diego. And they were, again, abusing him, pushing him to the side, not wanting to give him an opportunity to show what he can do or grow. And Marcus, to his default, is extra loyal. So if you give him an opportunity, he feels loyal to that opportunity no matter what. But he also knew what was going on was wrong. So he called me because he knows I'll go up against anybody. I have a record of going up against the state of Ohio when I worked with people with developmental disabilities. I told the state of Ohio where they can take their job and go with it because of how they treated their people. So I've always been that guy. So he called me to come out to help him. No training, no nothing. Nobody showed me anything. I got thrown to the wolves. And thrown to the wolves was me arguing, going back and forth with these promoters from Ohio to Erie and places in between about, look, I don't want you to give him anything. Just give us an opportunity. We don't need you to give us nothing. We get the opportunity, we'll take it, but we still can't just show up and walk out on your show. We still have to be given the opportunity to go show what we can do. And when they had enough of arguing and me calling them day after day and showing up to their shows 2 hours earlier than everybody else, and we were staying a little bit later than everybody else to talk like, okay, you could have done this and done that. Finally, he got his opportunity, and he had a belt on him within 3 shows. And Marcus has been off and running ever since. So, this is not about an ego for me or me just wanting to dominate the business because I want to take it over. No, I see a lot of fallacies in this business. I see a lot of prejudice and injustice in this business. And I'm just not one to stand on it. I am one to stand on the undoing of that. I'm not going to sit on it, I should say. They have a problem. The business has a problem.
This Paul Rhodes guy, I'm gonna sit.
You don't worry about Paul Rhodes. He is one of my most well entrusted, very highly paid employees, and has been for a very long time.
That is where I was going with this. Like, he's got to be on the payroll because he's
if you took the time and did your due diligence and your homework, you would have known that he's been a KE paid referee for almost 10 years now.
And we have done our due diligence, but this was a guy that you said when we talked over the phone. I'll say that. When we talked over the phone, you told me that he was a guy that wasn't needed to be concerned about. Yet here he is in the chat, and he's made his presence known. So I have to be under the assumption that he is sorely on the payroll.
What champion do you know reveals his whole cards? Who do I know? I don't know who you're talking to and who you know. I give you information. You're in the entertainment industry. You're a reporter, just like the rest of them. I give you information. You're going to go give it to people. So I control these interviews. I control what you people put out about us.
Well, to be fair, we haven't really
Mhm.
shared information with anybody, but this is something I just like. If you look at the chat, this guy is,
Mhm.
and
Because
he
the
even
people,
said he came out of retirement. So what are you doing as a manager that you've pulling people out of retirement?
I believe in my system, so they believe in me for that. They know I will never send them into any battle that I won't go into myself. And if you don't believe me, you can ask Andrew how his concussion's doing. Hi, Andrew.
Wow, wait a
How,
minute.
how many
An-
fingers am I holding?
Andrew has a concussion. Why does Andrew Burkett have a concussion?
Because not this show, but the last show, he decided to stick his nose in a tag team match and wanted to be their manager. And uh, he got in my face and he found out that it's not just the performers that I employ that will handle their business. I will do the same. I don't ask my guys to do anything that I won't do. My guys are under a strict regimen. We do at least 100 push-ups a day. That is me included. That is a must. That is in a contract. You must do at least 50, 100 push-ups a day. And then the rest of the working out is on you. We take this very serious. Our guys train harder. We work out more. We go to trainings earlier. We stay later. We ask more questions. We watch more tape. We study more tape. I'm on the phone with one of my guys to about 3, 4 o'clock every morning, just about. Hey, man, how do you like this idea? What are we doing for this? We take this serious. So when we get around people that don't, yeah, we get a little antsy. We get a little, we get a little chip on our shoulder. You know, we there's a guy at a show right now
He
who
did it for Terrance Knight. First off, I'm not a dude. I'm a respectable member of the media. Secondly, Paul, I I have to do what's right by our audience and ask the questions that nobody else is going to ask you because either you have them intimidated or you have done what you've done to Andrew and put him on the shelf. So I'm going to ask him.
well, there's no reason to be intimidated. If you're not in my way, if you're not in the system's way, you have nothing to worry about. Yeah, you see him. That's my Puerto Rican brute right there. Myers McBain. That's another one of the pieces to the puzzle. And that's my brute. You haven't seen nothing yet. He's not been released. The brute's not been released.
No, I have not seen what you did to the other radio star, but I can guarantee you things like that will not happen over here. As I said, we are respected people of the media. The 216 Sports Network has never had any problems and will never continue to have problems.
Well, let's
So
let's
let's
let's keep
let's
it that way. Let's keep it
well,
that way.
your guys making the threats here. I'm just telling. I'm telling them
They
you're honest. I'm honest.
This is it. That's fine. Let them do what they do. They just, hey, like I said, they take this very serious. They
I
take
take
this.
what I do serious, and
Hey,
I'm
then you should have that passion too, young man.
and I have to ask these questions because
Let's do
again,
it.
nobody else is gonna sit here and do that. Now
And nobody. Let's do it.
You mentioned Myers McBain. I have to
Yeah.
ask. We've seen him sporadically in
Mm-hmm.
RCW. Is there a motive behind releasing him sporadically in RCW, or is there a you're
Yes.
trying to gauge what he's doing and why RCW has not put him on the map yet?
Well, RCW suspended him a while back. Technically, we're going to pull the veil back a little bit. He was suspended for taking care of some family business, and he was the one who had to eat the massive plates of crap for it. So he did. But during his downtime, he got in the gym, he got his head right, he got his body right, he's got his emotions in check. And he called me, he told me, he said, "Boss, I'm ready." And so I started retraining him again. And his suspension has been lifted for quite a while. But at the same time, he understands that every piece to the puzzle has a place. He understands his place on my chessboard. So he moves when I need him to move. We don't need any sporadic, or we don't need movements made that's going to jeopardize what we have going. I have a systematic plan in place at all times. And then I have a backup plan for that plan. And I have a backup plan for the backup plan. And then there's a plan A, B, and C if those don't work out. And everybody knows their place for every plan. So,
So now you ask Jeffrey LaRoe. If I'm not mistaken, isn't Jeffrey one of the referees there? Like, so now
yes.
you not only are you beating up Andrew, y'all beating up referees who can't fight back, man. Come on now.
Listen, the referee, we've had problems. This referee, we can't, for us, we can't get him to count a three for nothing. He won't count three for us. He has been a thorn in our side for a very long time. I've warned Jeffrey before. I have nothing personal against the kid. None of us do. None of this is ever personal. What I did to Andrew was not okay, I lied. That was a little bit personal. But it was a lot of business. The moves that I make are business oriented, whether they are personally driven or not. I will not make a move if it's not going to benefit us business wise. It benefited me to take Andrew out. That way he was not coherent enough to do anything about what I was going to do at this show. See, I'm always 2-3 shows ahead, steps ahead of everybody else. And this is why the system has the RCW world title, the KOA world title, the Fight Night world title. And we can go on and go on and go on and go on.
Oh man. If you ask me, it sounds like a evil.
Hey,
It just sounds like there's a lot of evil coming around. And
I'm not an evil guy. I just react to what's given. So if you give me evil, I'm going to give you the devil.
well, with that, I have to ask because RCW, uh, some titles don't change hands often, but you said over the phone during the week you had your eyes not only on the keep retaining the world title, but you also said you were going to reclaim the global title, and then after that you were headed towards the tag team titles. There are a lot of competitors in RCW that was, I'm not gonna say stand against you, but they would say you're in their way, such as in the tag team division, the Hawaiian Lions, the Dojo. Uh, you even said, now that I think about it, you even said you were going after the Akron title. Why is why is the takeover, or not even the takeover? Why is the collection of titles in RCW that important to you?
You want me to unveil the truth here? We're going to shoot here, buddy. I'm going to give you a first class scoop. 4 years ago, almost to the day, and I won't say the names, but they know who they are, looked me in my face and told me that me and my group would never enter RCW. And we would never do anything in RCW. And from that day forward, I have systematically put together a plan to not only take over RCW, but burn that place to the ground. I will be the end of RCW. The system will be the end of RCW. Simply because we can. So yes, you think I know they didn't enjoy putting us in that title picture for the global championship. They didn't want George in that title picture because they knew that we were going to take it. Nobody was going to beat him for it, but they had no choice. So what happened? He took the global title and nobody beat him for it. Technically, he still hasn't lost the global title. They had to take it from him because he got bored with the global title and wanted the heavyweight title. So he went and took that one. And nobody's been able to beat him since. We know that I know they don't enjoy this. They don't like us. They don't like the system. But
To
that's
be
because
fair, you've had a big hand in helping out with George retaining both the global and the heavyweight title. And I'm not saying that you're wrong about that because, again, you have to protect your investments. But the wrestling critics would say, but wrestling historians would say no good champion has ever not defended a title by himself, meaning the manager just he told the manager to stay back. So why is it that the system has to have the hand in what happens as far as title matches are concerned?
They pay me very well as a manager to look out for their best interests. My goal at the end of the day for every single person that I represent is to make them money. I know in this business, championships equate to money.
Obviously.
So I tell them, we work as a team. You give me the body of work. You work out harder than everybody else. You get in the ring and you're sharper than everybody else. You're on your game better than everybody else. I will take care of what I have to outside of the ring with these promoters, with these managers of these other places that don't want to give opportunities. But hey, at the end of the day, we do what the marquee says and we wrestle better than anybody and we put butts in seats. Period.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold up. Time out. Breaking news right here. I have to post this comment. Philip Norris says he ain't that good. Get the paper signed and I'll come up and whoop him all over the ring. You know he can't touch me.
Foolish.
That's a bold statement, but obviously you're laughing because you know who Philip is.
Yes, I know. I know Mr. Norris very well, very, very well, very long time. He's a very good competitor. I will take nothing from him. But I will tell you the same as I'll tell anybody else. You get on the phone with RCW and get them to get that contract together. And you come up there and you put your name on that dotted line and we'll show up. But just know and understand, when you face George Davis, you face the system. When you face Marcus, you face the system. Yes, we are against each other. Don't get me wrong. But let me explain this live right now. Because I've had people in my inbox. How can you go against him and hate him in RCW, but other places you're bad? Listen. Yes, me and my cousin have a legit problem. This is a shoot problem. This ain't nothing, no storyline somebody wrote up for us. We have a legit problem. But outside of that legit problem, we are contractually bound to this company. And under the contracts of him being a wrestler and me being a manager, anytime he defends a world championship, I have to be there in his corner to protect our investment. So this is the reason why at KOA you seen me backing him as hard as I did. Yes, it behooves me to. He doesn't have a world title in RCW right now. So I can keep him out the picture and keep him there. These other places, he has them world titles. That's money for us. RCW is just one place I wanted George to be. And Marcus wouldn't move and let George have that. So we had to move him out the way.
Paul Rhodes telling Flip Dizzle, don't do it. So, that's who that is. So, Flip Dizzle, thank you for joining us. We were wondering because we had got some notes from you, Terrance, is telling us don't be surprised if a person shows up trying to disrupt the show. So now we know it's Flip Dizzle. So, Flip.
I will say this. Flip has never had a personal problem with us. I just think Flip sees us as a launching pad. He sees us as a way if I can get in there and destroy the system and I can be the one to do it, it's off to the races. Well, young man, you've got to understand something. You're not the first and you won't be the last to try. And you can try. Please try. Come with all the goons you can think you can find. Get all the help you can because you know what I'm coming from. You know where I'm coming from. We will give you your one-on-one. You know this. But if I start to feel a threat, if I start to think that title slipping just a little bit, I will do what I have to do.
Well, Flip says he doesn't even need a title shot. He just wants to come and shut the system down.
Hey, all he has to do is hit up RCW and ask RCW if he can come try to be the one to stop the system. I'm sure they're looking for a few guys. They need some help. They're in distress. RCW needs some help. They're in
To the
distress.
management at RCW, you hear it here from Terrance. You
Hey,
hear it here from Flip Dizzle.
please, I'm not on my knees because my back hurts. I am begging you, bring Flip Dizzle in, please. Please bring him in. He's an awesome competitor. Let's not get that wrong. Anybody who's watching this who don't know who Flip Dizzle is, go do your research. Flip Dizzle's very good, very well versed in the ring. Very well. We're just better.
Now, speaking of which, since you brought up title matches and things of that nature, you mentioned the KOA show that just happened yesterday.
Yes, sir.
And we were told that the system once again handled business. How did that go for you as a manager?
It went great for me. Marcus had a little bit of a hiccup at the end with Lethal's son, but we kept the title, so that was first and foremost all that mattered. We put a few beat downs down. Miles Jacob understood what it means to get in our way and what happens when you get in our way. Lethal and the butt whooping was I can't even. I'm drawing a blank. It doesn't matter. Anybody who steps in our way is getting devoured anywhere you want to go, however you want it. If you're listening out there, any of you wrestling companies, any of you wrestlers is looking, and you wanna bring up some competition to where you at, tell your people to email me. We don't have people. I am the people. That guy right there. That name, Terrance Knight. I am the people. Tell them to holler at me. We'll come to your company and see just how strong you really are.
Well, I gotta say this because this was the last time we saw that ordeal. That ordeal with Dice K and Aaron Black wasn't finished.
Mm-hmm.
You do realize there are people just like Dice K that are coming, and they're probably coming with people we don't know because, as you said, you don't show your card, so I'm going to assume nobody who's after the system will either. But are you prepared for this type of backlash?
You have to ask me that question. Am I
I do.
prepared? How many times? This is why I don't like these radio shows. You guys are so arrogant, and you are you kidding me? Am I prepared? Do you know who I am?
Yes, we know who you are, but
Then
I
you should
know
know
what you do.
Then you should know that I have a plan for if Dice K wants to go left, if he wants to go right, if he wants to come straight, if he think he wants to jump us from the back. I have a plan every which way. I have a plan for any and everybody. Listen, when I tell you that the system's my baby, the system's my baby, and I protect that with everything. So when everybody else is sitting up at night and they're playing their video games and they're having their little bit of fun and they're just living life, I'm setting up right now what we're going to do if this person attacks us, how we're going to respond if this happens. What are we going to do if somebody happens to just so happen and beat George and take a title, or if somebody happens to beat one of us and slip and take a title, how we're going to get it back, what move we're going to do. I'm 17 steps ahead of everybody, which is why we are where we are in this business and why I'm sitting on this side giving the interview and you're on that side asking for it. Next question.
Well, to be fair, we didn't ask for it. Your publicist, your assistant, as she elegantly put it out there, she called us and said he had a free moment and he could use some downtime. So that you take that up with her. But for the most part, you are correct.
Yes. Listen, I've been following the 216 network, sports network, for quite a while. Been trying to get on this show for quite a while. It's been a pretty good show. It's a very good show. It's very entertaining. I recommend everybody watch it all the time. It's a very good show. But
Wait, whoa, Paul, watch your mouth. We are not just another radio show. We are the best out there. Thank you. Wait, hold up. Oh, wait a minute.
ah,
Okay,
all
there we
right,
go.
Mr. Dice K. All right, sir, that is good to know. And Mr. Dice K, just so you know and understand, RCW is not the only place that we know you're at, sir. So if you can hear my voice and you can see my face, know and believe we can show up and we can catch you in more than one place than in Akron. You forget I'm from Cleveland. I know everything around there. I know everything about that go down on Euclid, baby.
This,
Are you kidding
this
me?
is. I'm a
That
little nervous now because this is starting to feel like it's getting personal.
hey, listen, you want to know how personal it is? The other place that Dice K goes, the building that they do their work in, the building that he goes to his dojo to train in, that's the old GM building. My grandfather died in that building working there. Every time I work in that building, every time I walk in that building to go to that show, I can feel him. I can feel his presence. The hair stands up on my arms, stands up on my neck. I showed it to somebody else. I said, I'm going to walk this whole building and I'm going to find the spot my grandfather was when he passed away at work, when that was the GM building. So, yes, it's very, very personal for me. Very personal. Very personal. Anybody who has anything to go against the system, it's personal for me, which means it's business. So it has to be taken care of. This is just the way it goes.
Paul, like seriously, dude. I don't know what your beef is with me, but I'm not I'm not that guy. All right.
Paul's a
I
loose
don't
cannon.
clearly,
Paul's cannon. And I love
clearly.
him. Paul's a loose cannon because if I tell Paul to attack, he's already on his way, along with
So
everybody else.
so you just attack people for no reason now? Is that what I'm
No,
hearing?
no, no. There's always a rhyme to my reason. Always. There's always a method to what we get done and why we're moving the way we move. And it's always to protect the system first and foremost.
I completely understand that. And Philip has said this is not what the system looks like, or this is what the system looks like, and it's a small on our other screen. It's a small dog. It's a little small dog gift. Like I got nothing.
A small dog gift with a whole bunch of championships. So when you get to that point of topping that tier to where you can start coming for championships, we'll be waiting for you, sir.
Okay. This case says you saw what happened to the last client who stepped in the ring with him. I don't know what Shigakuru means. Maybe Daisuke can elaborate or translate that, as you know. But we do know that you did send a client in the ring with Daisuke at one point, not just Aaron Black. And Daisuke handled his own business. Not saying that this is something that happens often, but it does happen on occasion. So
And see, here's the problem with everybody else versus us. See, everybody else is in this for wins and losses. We're in this for lessons and blessings. Every time, so sometimes going into a match, I may not need my guy to necessarily win. Winning's not always the objective. Go in there and scout. Go find out what he's got. Find out his strengths, his weaknesses. Find out what it takes to weaken them up. Find out what it takes to take them kicks away. So you have to understand the mastermind who taught me this business is a guy by the name of Paul Heyman. He's the only person I've ever watched and actually understood anything about this business and what I do from. And the one thing I did learn from watching him for almost, I'm 41, so a little over 30 years now, is It's not always about the W right now. We don't always have to win the battle as long as we win the war. So yes, I sent the client in with Dice K, and Dice K won that match pretty handsomely. I will give him his due. But he also let us inside of his head a little. He let us inside of who he was, what he was bringing to the table. Because he came into this match angry. He came into this with revenge on his mind. And
Can
when
you
you
blame
do
him?
something, no, not at all. But at the same time, he fell into my trap because now I know how to handle Dice K. So anytime he feels he wants to show back up, we're waiting. I know it's gotta suck, doesn't it? This guy just has an answer for everything. His mind is just always working. I know, man. It's great,
I
isn't it?
I
Forget
have
God
no.
mode. Forget God mode. I am God of this wrestling.
Your pockets must be deep, according to Flip Dizzle. You must be deep to pay off the refs. So what I'm gathering from that is Paul one of the refs on your payroll? Your payroll?
Paul's the
Because
only ref. He's the only ref on our payroll. He's the only referee I've ever trusted. We've had a lot of shady referees. You see people think we're just bad guys for the sake of being bad guys. No, we're not. We've all been put in positions and put in places to where we've had to fight and claw a little bit harder than everybody else. We had to sit back a little longer than everybody else. We had to, hey guys, we're over here a little bit more than everybody else. So eventually we just got to a point to where it was like, you know what, we're just going to kick the door in and they're just going to deal with it. And now we're the bad guys because we're not sitting back waiting on opportunity anymore. Well, I don't have time to wait on opportunity. I'm about to have a grandkid at the end of the year. I need something to pass down to them. I need to show them something. I have a 3-year-old toddler also right now. I also have a 23-year-old daughter, a 19-year-old daughter, and a 17-year-old son that's looking like, man, Pops is doing, whoa, man. Like, I remember when Pops wasn't home. They remember when I wasn't home for their birthdays, for all of their school events, missing church events with them, missing sporting events, missing parents' birthdays and parents' holidays and all of this because daddy was out here fighting to get us where we are now because we had to fight a little harder. So even with shows being our business being the way our business is, I had to leave a day or two earlier than everybody else because I had to go fight with these promoters just to want to put us on the card. After they told us, oh, yeah, come on out, we got something for you. Then we get there and, oh, man, the guy we wanted to put you up against backed out, so we can't. No, you're not going to do that to us. We've seen that. I've been around this business and studied way too much. And you're not going to do that to us. So
Paul says he's the only ref, the perfect referee. Paul wrote. Paul, man,
and
there's
this
no
is why
such thing as a. The
hey,
NFL doesn't even have perfect referees.
hey, the NFL, are you kidding me? The No Fun League, are you kidding me? Perfect referees?
I said they don't even have perfect referees.
No, they don't. They got paid off referees just like I do. Yeah, I said it.
Wow.
Wow.
NFL, I am not responsible for anything Terrance Knight may have said to offend you. Please don't come after me. I had nothing to do with that.
This has nothing to do with the 216 network. This ain't got nothing to do with the system. This ain't got nothing to do with nobody associated with me, any company we're associated with. This is me. You got a problem with something I said, you can come holla at me.
Dice K has responded. The mind of a tiger is more than just one track. A hunter is always ahead. I don't like where this is going. This is
Dice.
Paul. I don't necessarily need a shirt.
Dice.
Just being honest, we don't necessarily need one. But if you send one, I guess we'll wear it somewhere. I guess.
Dice K,
I'm not calling you imperfect. I said there are no perfect referees. That is a true statement, and Terrance just attested to that. So don't get mad at me.
No, Paul is the perfect referee. This is why I hire him. I only hire the perfect clients. I only hire the best, the absolute top tier of what we do.
Okay, fair
So when
enough.
there's so
I,
fair enough.
fair enough because George is the RCW champ. Uh, Donovan Kozar asks, "Who are your top prospects you consider recruiting?"
Recruiting for what am I recruiting for?
I'm going to assume he means he might want to join. I'm not sure. This is Donovan Kozar here. And if you know anything about Donovan, Donovan
I
is a bit of
I
a
know
loose cannon as well.
we know quite a bit about Donovan Kovar, quite a bit.
I mean,
We
I okay, because you said you know a little bit about Donovan, you also know a little bit about Daisuke, and there was a rumor, because
mm-hmm.
that's the best way I can put it,
Okay.
that you extended a contract to Daisuke and he turned it down because of a confliction of honor. I don't know if that's true. That was just a rumor, which caused the Aaron Black Daisuke situation. Is that is
I
that is
that's
there any truth to that?
that's pretty much how that went. I extended a what I call a worker's contract to him, and his for his credit to who he is and what he believes and what he stands for, he respectively turned it down. He didn't throw it in my face. He didn't get belligerent or angry about it, but he turned it down. But you have to understand when it comes to the system, you're either with us or against us. And the minute he turned that contract down, he became a contract.
Hmm. So you just putting hits out on people now. That makes a lot of sense.
If you're not going to be a part of the solution, then you're a part of the problem. So
Fair. I can only say fair enough. I can only
Daisuke
say
made
fair enough.
himself he made himself part of the problem. So he's going to be handled as a solution. Uh and to Mr. K, I heard what you had to say about tigers having more than one mind. This is very true. Just remember, system has more than one channel. And believe me when I tell you, Mr. K, whenever you show up with your lions, tigers, and bears, we'll be ready for them. I promise.
Man, this is not the way this interview was supposed to go, but fair enough. I'm not gonna.
Hey, man,
Okay,
this is
we'll move right along. Uh, you mentioned the show before we went live. You mentioned there is a RCW show at Gargano's, world famous Gargano's, Cleveland staple for food pizza, here on July 6th.
yes.
What is the plan for the system?
Well, I've told Andrew that he better show up early because we need to have a conversation immediately. Not only was George not, or his championship not even promoted on the flyer, George's not even booked on the show. So I have I told Andrew to show up and we're going to have a very candid conversation. Uh, that's my plan for the system never changes. It's domination. It's just in which way we have to maneuver it. Remember, the plan is always domination. See, at one time our plan was we just wanted to be in this business and show that we could be someone that could bring light and goodness to the business and be part of the boys and be one of them. And then we were kicked and pushed back. And then it became about respect and reputation, and we earned that. And then it became about championships, and we've done that. Now it's about respect, and we're doing that. And this evolution of the system is not a nice one because we all have the same mindset that we've all been kicked, we've all been pushed, we've all been held back. They've all been not, I don't even want to say not given the opportunities, but not given an opportunity. That's all we've ever wanted, was just an opportunity to show what we had. That's it. And
Fair.
And if that opportunity has to be taken versus given, hey, I'm not getting no younger. So we're going to take it.
Flip Dizzle says, tell RCW to get a hold of his business agent. Why does everybody have a business? And when did everybody get a business agent in pro wrestling? I just remember you call me, I'll call you back. He says, have RCW call his business agent. That's between you guys. And Daisuke is said he's never alone. They are always watching you. That sounds a little bit stalkerish, but I'm gonna.
That's okay. Hey, you if you're always watching me, you better take a pen and paper and get some notes because you're going to see some good stuff.
I don't think he meant that as a good thing, but we don't.
Not at all.
Well,
What say?
what what is the second half of the year looking like for the system since we're at that point?
It's more domination. I am actually in talks with some companies out in Delaware, some companies in Arkansas, bunch of different places looking to get the guys booked out. And, again, we're giving the opportunity for places to give us an opportunity. That's all we want. If we have to show up to these places and do like we did in RCW and do like we did in KOA, then we just will. We're just looking for opportunities. I know a lot of people probably seen the video that came out a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago. But me and Marcus have found, I did not know. Well, I knew, but I didn't know that he was at that point. But I have a cousin. Marcus has a brother down south named Sexton Knight that is now ready to take his rightful place as a Knight in the business. I have an Uncle Keith Knight down south that has been managing him, that is ready to come be the elder Knight in our business and be my advisor, which he has been all of my life. My Uncle Keith has been one of my biggest advisors, him and Big Mama, his sister, Miss Big Mama. But a lot of family, more championships, more domination, and hopefully a lot less people disrespecting us.
That's respectable. That is very respectable. Uh, RCW, apparently Paul is telling bring Flip Dizzle in.
Please. I agree 100%. Flip Dizzle will be very good for that show as long as he stays out of our way.
Well, apparently he's there to take you guys out, and he says it right now, as a matter of fact. So, Flip Dizzle, if you're watching, well, we know you're watching, obviously, but if you're in the area at some point, I'm pretty sure they're gonna want you to show up.
Flip Dizzle, if you can make it to West 25th at Gargano's on July 6th, you have a personal invitation from me to show up.
Wow.
Wow.
That was almost
I will buy the ticket and take care of it myself. You tell them you're my personal guest.
That sounded so Mr. Fuji-ish. I have no rebuttal for that.
As most people don't.
So you're gonna actively just pay for the man's ticket just to attack him in the crowd?
I never said nothing about attacking him. We're giving him an opportunity. We're giving him what we were never given, an opportunity. He wants an opportunity to be the one to come take us down. We want the competition. Bring it. Like I said, I respect Flip Dizzle. I like Flip Dizzle. He's a very good guy. He's a good worker. Just don't get in our way.
I believe that's fair. Given everything, given all circumstances, I believe that's fair.
Absolutely.
He's stronger and faster, so
that's good. We're a lot different too. We're stronger, faster, and more world champions strapped up, sir. So we're always ready to go. Whenever you show up, we are ready to go.
And of course you rub it. Of course you rub it in. You just
yes. Are you kidding me? The work we've had to go through to get to where we're at? You wait till these documentaries start coming out about the guys. You're going to see just how hard they've had to work. When people see George Davis's story and understand what that title really means to him and what him winning that title really meant to us, people are going to understand. When they find out what Marcus has gone through to get to where he is right now, they're going to understand. When people see these stories that we're going to put out and that we're going to tell our true stories ourselves, people are going to understand why we are the way we are. I want everybody to understand something. We're not the bad guys here, but we just don't care about you knowing that anymore. We're going to move forward doing what we need to do, and whoever steps in our way, whether he be your hero or he be your most hated wrestler in the business, we're going to eliminate them.
He's a paperweight champ. Oh wow, that's harsh words right there.
What was the last championship you held, period, sir?
And
You can't be
Donovan says, "Hey, look, I'm just trying to do the show here, man. I don't want no smoke between nobody. Let's keep it civil, fellas." And
Donovan, you have people you have to answer to. RCW has to give you your opportunities. We take ours. This is a big problem I have with you, Donovan. You're so waiting on people to give you an opportunity. Now, let's just put this out there. Donovan used to be one of ours. Donovan just won't go take it. He doesn't have that fire. He doesn't have that killer. He's a good guy. He's a naturally good guy. He wants to do it the right way, and he wants to be commendable, and he wants to hold honor when he does it. Remember, guys, Donovan's a seaman. So he wants to be honorable about the way he does it. Well, this isn't an honorable business. This is a business run by shrewd men, shrewd businessmen. And if you want to play the game, you better know the rules. And if you know anything about the system, I change the rules.
For the record, folks at home watching, we are going to we're going to disregard that semen comment. I just don't think that was appropriate to say on live TV, but here we are.
He's a legitimate seaman. He's a legit Navy seaman. Legit.
Okay, well, now that you cleared that up, we're good. We're good.
I kind of figured you would have got that with the salute, but radio personality.
I mean, you could have been with your sense of humor. That could have went one of many ways. Let's just be honest. And Flip Dizzle says,
"You know who Donovan was, and you know Donovan's story too." See, I do my homework on everybody, whether they're opponent of ours or not. I do my homework on everybody. This is why I'm the best manager in this business. Independent, big leagues, it doesn't matter. I'm the best. Nobody puts in the work. Nobody watches more tape. Nobody studies more tape. Nobody studies more. Nobody writes more. Nobody has his guys sharper than I do. Nobody.
Actually, Flip Dizzle's putting his resume in the comments. He was a U.S. champ for a minute, and he was also a hardcore cruiserweight champion.
Did you hear the past tense? We're talking now, sir. We're talking right now. We have 7 world titles right now.
And Donovan apparently wants to know your opinion of him.
I don't really know what your story is. I've told you for a long time you need more of a fire in you. You need to stop worrying about what other people care about you. You have the passion, and you can ask any of the boys. I've said this to everybody. You have the passion for this business. If I could bottle your passion up and put that inside of somebody who just had that, I'm going to take what I can get, you'd be a star. But you're such a kind-hearted kid. You're too good for this business, kid. You're too good for this business. This business will eat you up and spit you out, sir. But if you want to keep joining, you want to keep jumping, join the rest of them that want to come jump on the system. And at the end of the day, when we're standing on top of the hill still with all the championships, and we look down and you're looking up and wondering, how can I get there? You're just going to have to wait till we're all dead and gone. because that will be the only time anybody will ever take it from us.
Hey, Paul, let's be civil here. Let's not talk bad about anybody. I don't know who that comment is directed to, but let's just keep it civil. Uh, Dizzle says he's not here oppressed about holding titles. He's there to destroy.
That's cool. We did that too. And the titles just kind of came with it. That's cool.
And Daisuke has finally responded, saying the system needs eyes in the back of their heads because bad things are coming.
Dice K.
Who? How many people did you piss off during the course of you being a manager? Because this is
I've been doing this for 20 years and I've never been a good guy. Ever. Ever. I have never been on the fan side. I don't do this for the fans. See, this is something people have to understand. They come at me, you're just about yourself, and you do this just for you and your no. I don't. This the people that I do this for is not the people that you like and you're looking for. I'm not doing this for the kid who's got both his mom and dad at home and he's living a cushy life. And every time wrestling comes around, he gets front row and he gets all the merchandise and he gets all of that. I'm doing this for the kid that has to go to school and sit in the lunchroom by himself because nobody wants to be his friend because his dad's an alcoholic and he sends him to school with a black eye all the time. I'm doing this for the little girl that don't know her hair makes her beautiful. I'm doing this for the kids who get told, nah, you'll never be strong enough. You're too small to do that. You'll never be able to make it. That's who I do this for. We do this for the rejects. We do this for the ones that don't nobody like. We do it for the ones that get cast aside. That's who I do this for. So when people tell me I don't do this for the people, that I'm not for the people, and we're just in this for ourselves, I can politely tell them to off because they don't know our story. They don't know who we do this for. They don't know why I do this. But what you need to know is that we do this. The system's here and we're never leaving, ever. So I don't care if it's Dice K. I don't care if it's, what's he calling himself? D-Zap. What is he calling himself? Donovan Kovar, whatever you calling yourself. I don't care if it's Flip Dizzle. I don't care if it's him Chisel or whoever you want to bring. Bring them all. Nobody is ever going to stop the real system, the original system. I have paperwork for that. The original one. Nobody's going to stop us.
Clearly you have pissed a lot of people off, but
this is what I do.
Yeah, I could see that. But outside of that,
Yes.
can you tell the people or aspiring young performers who may want to join the system, can you tell everybody watching at home and those aspiring performers where they can find you on social media?
You can find me. First off, let me address this being a part of the system. This is a family. So you are chosen. You don't just sign a paperwork and say, hey, I want to be a part of the system. You're chosen. We only hand select a select few. But for those of you who even aspire to that, you can find me on Facebook under my name, Terrance Knight. I don't hide. You can find me, Terrance Knight. You can look up the system anywhere. You can look up Knight Solutions. That's with a Z at the end. That is the name of our actual company. Or Nights Like This. This is the name of our bath and body company. We selling soap and everything out here. We're not just beating people up. We giving them the tools to get clean and get back up on their feet afterwards. Okay? So what you can do if you want to find us, you go find the RCW network. You look up the RCW network and you'll get all you need to know about us. And you start Googling us and you train and you don't stop training and you get a hunger and you get a fire. And maybe, just maybe, I may see something in you that make me say, Mike can work with that guy. Mike can work with him. My goal now, I speak English, sir. I don't understand. You're gonna have to speak in English. I'm not scared of,
I have a background in Japanese, but I'm not gonna translate that over the air.
Okay.
Just know I'm not going to translate that over the air.
Whatever. Yep. So on to the next. Then again, something that doesn't really matter. Like I said, you guys can you do whatever you want. When I tell people we are everywhere, we
Clearly.
are everywhere. So, Dice K, when you think you have eyes on me, know and understand we have eyes on them. I have eyes in the sky. I have eyes on the phone. I have eyes everywhere at all times. And they're all willing to do my bidding. And you want to know why? Because they believe. They believe. They believe that if they follow the system, they're going to see their dreams come true. And they've seen it happen one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other. And after so long, you psychologically start to believe it. If I do this, this is going to work. And this is why we walk around with the titles. Not because we have to walk around with them for our validation. No, we walk around with the championships because there's just nobody else to take them from us. Nobody's bad enough to beat us for
them. As of right now, I can agree with that. So you guys have outside of the comment that was just left, we do have to agree with the fact that you've led a pretty good system so far, and you've backed off all challengers, but it's just I have to wonder if this is going to turn ugly at some point between
you.
You
Keep saying
RCW.
You keep saying but like you don't believe. You don't believe in the system. You don't believe. I can hear it in your voice.
It's not that I don't believe. It's the fact that Rome fell. The Japanese Empire fell. The Mongolian Empire with Genghis Khan, it fell.
And what was every single one of them had one thing in common. They were doing it for the greed. They did it for the greed. They did it to take over. They did it to say, I'm the big man. You can't take us, which leaves you vulnerable. Because once you believe that you're the top dog and there is none other, that's when somebody swoops in. And that hawk swoops in and takes your head off.
That's very true.
So no.
Flip Dizzle, this is a very big statement. Him coming there is going to be like Tyson and Jake Paul when he knocks out every last one of the systems. Wow.
Knock out and knock off is two different things, sir. Everybody gets a lucky punch. Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson.
That was a
lucky punch. After he had already beaten Buster Douglas. You go back to the third round and watch when he knocked him down. That referee gave Buster Douglas 45 seconds to get up. He didn't even start counting to 20 seconds in. So referees have been a problem in professional sports for a long time.
Yeah, they have.
This is all things that I have taken into my consideration into this system to make us the best system, and not only the professional wrestling, but in anything we decide to do. The music, we're the best. The wrestling, we're the best. The bath and body line, we have the best soaps and the best products. Anywhere you want to go, if our name is involved in it, the catering company, we have the best catering. We make the best barbecue sauce. We make the best food. This is what we do. We give our clients the best treatment there is, because that's just what we do. This system is not just wrestling and not just professional wrestling. And this is what anybody from Dice K to Flip Dizzle or anybody around the world has to understand. When they want to come against the system, you're not just coming against us wrestling. This is our lives. We live this. We breathe this. This is what is helping us build a future for our children. My daughter, my 3-year-old daughter, has her name on records that we have produced as executive producer, making money off of this. This is real for us. This is not just wrestling. Wrestling is our outlet. So when you make our outlet a problem, we're going to handle that.
Carrie, I don't know who that's directed to, but I'm
I
assuming that's going to be.
I know who that is. She's directing that to Flip. This is what we are. See, if you don't understand, that is the world heavyweight champion history in the makings lady right there. Our
Fair
champion
enough.
right now is resting. He is resting. He had a long night yesterday also. He may not have defended that world championship, but he was there. He wrestled and he had a lot of business. So as a world champion, today is his spa day. So he's probably sitting back in his ice bath with his cucumbers over his eyes and his mud face on right now, getting a nice massage, getting the championship treatment.
Fair enough. Well, that will do it for this episode of Outside Interference. Terrence, we'd like to thank you very much for being on. And for
I was
those
just
watching at
starting
home,
to have fun. Thank
I
you for
think you've
having
had
me.
enough fun.
I appreciate
But
you for having me.
thank
Anytime
you
you
for
want more ratings, you let me know. I'll come back.
thank you for being on. But for those watching, please head over and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, like or catch us on Facebook, like our Facebook. If you want to donate to the 216 Sports Network, you can catch our Cash App at the bottom. Every little bit helps us do what we do best, that is sports. Also, you can catch our slate of shows starting with Thursday nights at 5 p.m., the Straw Brothers Sports Show. Friday, the Ruler's Minute with Rico McGee. Saturday, the Jay Rich Show. Sunday, the 4th and 15, and Outside Interference. So your whole weekend is covered if you need some sports. Again, thank you again for coming. I'm sorry,
Absolutely.
I apologize for all the confusion,
No,
but
this is what I'm here for, baby. Let's do it. Anytime you want some more ratings and some more controversy, all you got to do is you have my direct number. All you have to do is call me, sir, and I will come join your show.
yes, we do have your direct number. So thank you for
Absolutely.
joining us. And for
Don't
those
let
of
that
you
get out.
guys,
Not many people have that number. Don't let that get
I
out.
will not let it get out. Relax. We don't share information like that.
All
But
right. I know where 216 is. I live there. That's my family. Yeah.
I know this. We know this. But
All
for
right.
Mr. Terrance Knight, I'm Romel Thorpe saying we will see you in a minute.
The one and all.
It's taco day, bitch.